Criminal investigations is concerned over the rising numbers of murder cases in the country, to the extent of educating Kenyans on the provisions of the law regarding murder through social media platforms such as Twitter and Facebook. Unfortunately, most of the murders are taking place within the family unit. Our reporter Mwangi Maina analyzes murders that have left the country shocked in the last 2 months.
The weekly murder cases reported almost on a daily basis in the country paints a stressed and a depressed Kenyan society. In the last 2 months, between January and March 2021, around 20 homicide cases have been reported. 8 of the 20 homicide cases have involved close family members, whereas around 5 cases have involved partners involved in a romantic relationship. On January 25th, the Directorate of Criminal Investigations took to Twitter to advise Kenyans on the various provisions of the law in regard to murder and other allied offenses. The DCI told Kenyans that any person who causes death of any person by an unlawful act or omission with malice aforethought is guilty of murder, and a person convicted of murder shall be sentenced to death. Any person who causes death of another person by an unlawful act or omission without malice aforethought is guilty of manslaughter, and a person who commits the felony of a manslaughter is liable to imprisonment for life. Most of the murder cases are posted on the DCI Twitter account, and if the numbers there are anything to go by, it suffices to say Kenya is indeed a depressed society. Between January 1st and January 7, 2 murders were reported, while between January 8th and January 15th, 3 murder cases were reported. From January 16th to January 23rd, 2 murder cases were reported, and between January 24th and January 31st, 1 murder case was reported. In the month of February, around 10 murder cases were reported, where between 1st February and February 7th, 2 murder cases were reported. From 8th February to 15th February, 6 murder cases were reported, and from 23rd February to 28th, 2 murder cases were reported. 3 days only into the month of March, and 2 homicide cases have already been reported. On the 6th of January, the country was irked by the gruesome murder of 4 family members of the same family and their farmhand in Karura, Kiambu County. It would later emerge that 22-year-old Lawrence Warunge, a son of the murdered family, perpetrated the crime. Lawrence, who has since confessed to the murders, is not in the right mental state to stand trial and will be due in court on the 15th of March this year.
Stephen Kanini Wangodu, that is your name.
Days into the month of January, the country would again hold its breath out of a disturbing murder revelation from the DCI. A 75-year-old father, Stephen Wangondu Kenini, from Wendiga village of Mweiga in Nyeri County, allegedly orchestrated and paid for his son's murder. The murderers were paid 160,000 to finish Daniel Mwangi following a family feud. Irate Mweiga residents held demonstrations to condemn the macabre killings a day before the suspects were presented in a Nyeri court.
The court grants the prosecution 2 days.
Wangondu and 4 others who have since pleaded not guilty to Daniel Mwangi's murder are being held in various prisons in central Kenya counties, awaiting bail hearing and ruling on the 9th of March. As the country reflects on Wangondu's murder case, detectives from the DCI are still trying to piece together information on what they postulate could be a murder then suicide at government's quarters along Jogoo Road late last month. Charity Cheboy and her 8-year-old son Alan Kipngetich were found murdered in their house, and Charity's boyfriend, a 35-year-old seminarian, dead in the bathroom. Post-mortem results reveal Charity and her son died out of suffocation, while her boyfriend died out of carbon monoxide poisoning. In the most atrocious of all the murder cases, a man killed his girlfriend and set her body on fire at Njiro in Kasarani.
Ngoja. Don't do it. Sasa ya nini? Sawa.
In a bizarre cat-and-mouse game, the suspect was arrested in Kayole as he tried to commit suicide after a 6-hour chase from a Topa building. The search for a missing 38-year-old businesswoman hit rock bottom when suspects led detectives to where they had dumped the body. Caroline Wanjiko Maina was murdered by her friends out of a business deal gone sour. Her badly mutilated body was discovered dumped in Kitengela, Kajiado County. Post-mortem results established Wanjiko died out of injuries sustained from being hit with a blunt object. 4 suspects are still in police custody. Kenyans ushered in the month of March with a gruesome and horrifying murder of an 8-year-old school-going girl killed in Ruathia, Murang'a County. The body of Hannah Wamboi was discovered in a tea plantation, badly mutilated, with her private parts missing in what is believed to be a ritual killing. As the Directorate of Criminal Investigations continue to unravel the murder cases, Kenyans have been asked to embrace other methods of dispute resolution. Mwangi Maina, TV 47, Nairobi.